Hey, this is War 11 of Season 57, up against Chaos, and we'll be bringing in Nega Sonic, Okoye, and Man-Thing, so a bit of a stranger team than usual. Starting off on Path 8 in Section 1, this is Rage Glance and Rise to Power Chielf. She's Tactic, and Nega Sonic is Attack Tactic, so we pretty much hard counter everything about this fight, both the Tactic and Chielf's kit. Because Negasonic's kit is purely passive, like passive stun, passive incinerates, there's no need to worry about her cleanses, like preventing us from getting openings. And on top of that, Negasonic also reduces the ability accuracy of bleeds from skill champs by 100%, I think. So if you're fighting a skill defender on a node that gives the defender increased ability accuracy, you might still get hit with bleeds, but here, there's nothing interacting with that, so we're pretty much safe from every threat that Shield poses. The only downside here is that I can only use basics because I tested the rage cap damage. I think 11,000 was the threshold I could be under, and my medium crits were around 10,800. So I couldn't really throw heavies, I couldn't really throw specials. But rather than like remove attack masteries so I could do those things, I just kind of figured I'd swapped masteries enough this season already, so I just kind of went and said I'll just punch her to death slowly but surely. And yeah, this fight does go pretty slowly, but the defender AI doesn't do us too many favors because she kind of held specials for a while at the start of the fight, and I was really relying on the tactic burst damage to help me cut through this health pool quicker. But it's very safe. Like there's no real threat of dying unless you just eat hits for fun. So I kind of was just waiting for her to keep throwing specials that I could punish so I could just finish the fight quicker. And I think after this special, we're able to punish one more time, and this combo into Relic doesn't quite kill, but I think one more hit does. And yeah. So that was a pretty slow fight. About what, a minute 40 something? Yeah, minute 41, so definitely not quick. But moving on to the second fight in this section, this is Killmonger. I think the nodes here are Stun Immunity, Energetic Exercise, and Gifted. There's another node that makes the defender immune to, I think, Armor Break, Nullify, and Stagger until you knock them down. So it makes sense why Killmonger's placed here. But Negasonic doesn't need to Armor Break Killmonger to deal with his reverb. So don't have to worry about that node. It's pretty much just a stun immune Killmonger. And yeah, both of his specials are easy punishes. So we can get our tactic burst up. Even though Killmonger's not a tactic defender, using a tactic attacker still gives you the tactic burst, which is really nice. And we go for our special too. I think I could have found space or time to throw a heavy before doing that to get the incinerate vulnerability passive on, but he's dying quickly enough to where it doesn't really matter, it feels like. And yeah, we go for a special one here just to refresh and apply more incinerates. I think he throws this. Yeah, we bait this out, punish, and I think he dies like really quickly after. Just like a couple more hits. And yeah, that fight was much faster, about 50 seconds, but I was also able to fully boost because there was no rage cap mitigating my attack. Moving on, this is my one man thing fight. This is Encroaching Stun, Overwhelming Odds, Venom. I did have to turn down Mystic Dispersion for this fight. I think I'm running 3 out of 5 points. But yeah, the game plan here is to just pretty much punish specials, and really just the only thing I have to pay attention to other than the tactic, like punishing specials, is Encroaching Stun. And as long as I manage that, like there's no real threat here. Because I have seen people get one tapped. Like Venom used to be really scary on the old Path 3 node because of overwhelming odds. And that same node is here, although, there's nothing protecting his buff, so you're able to freely nullify, which makes it, I want to say, an easier fight. Like the old Path 3 Venom was way scarier because you could just get one tapped, and most of his hardest counters on that fight weren't bleed immune. So if you got comboed, like I'd seen people get one comboed through, like an inable boost by that old Venom. But here, again, we're just kind of managing Encroaching Stun. I think I get pretty close to having it trigger on both specials I threw in this fight, but heavy into Relic ends up finishing the fight. Like 97% finish in 50 something seconds. So pretty impressed by rank 2 man thing there, especially on duped. Moving on, this is Void on the Safeguard, Combat Deja Vu, Disintegration, and I think Cold Turkey is also on this node. But yeah, Okoye is definitely one of the better counters here. I think I'd fought a Spider Ham here before, but because Okoye is a skill champ that doesn't rely on Purifier Cleanse to keep debuffs off of her, it's really nice so I don't have to worry about Cold Turkey at all. Like, even I don't think reaching 10 hits in your combo meter when you have a Void debuff on you counts as a Purify. Like, right here, you'll see I don't take any damage from Cold Turkey, even though it counts as it said Purified, like, on the screen. But on top of that, we have an Endurance off of our special one if I were to mess up Combat Deja Vu, so the Disintegration would expire a lot faster. And yeah, we got our special 2. This fight is over very quickly. I think that fight was around 30 seconds? Yeah, 31 seconds, so very good there. And moving on to the last fight of this war, it's once again 48 Photon. This is Force of Will, Stun Reflect, Bleed Shock, Bane, and I think that's it. Safeguard as well. And I made sure I had the Power Start 1 this time because it is pretty important to the way I like to play this fight. Because I start off with a couple debuffs on me, but it's nothing that'll hurt my block too badly. And yeah, we're just kind of focusing on the Bane timer here. She's getting charges because on Force of Will, you can't really stop her from gaining charges at all, which is the main reason she's placed here. Like, you got to deal with a ramped up Photon at some point in the fight. And yeah, we get the Bane transfer. She throws the special one. She has no power, so I'm trying to knock her into Pure Light here with my own special one. I'm not really worried about building to my special 2, even though I have the Vicious passive. Like, it'll do a lot of damage, but I also know that my damage from special ones and my basic hits will be more than enough to finish this fight out. So yeah, she's throwing full combos into my block, which isn't very nice of her. I think I'm trying to manage the Bane transfer here. And yeah, we get an intercept, get the transfer. I think I go for the relic, and then yeah, this fight is over once I get my special 2 because Deep Wounds applies to my shocks, which means all that burst damage kills Photon pretty quickly as soon as her health goes under mine. And yeah, that went a lot cleaner than last time. I'm sure you guys are sick of seeing this fight, and I'm definitely sick of taking it. But we did win this war. We died 5 times. They died 13. So GG's to Chaos. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.